let me ask you something. What if I told you that climbing the corporate ladder is actually the slowest possible path to wealth? Today, we're going to explore a completely different map, one that changes the goal from just job security to real, genuine financial freedom. And it's not just about what you do, it's about a total shift in how you think. And this quote from Robert Kiyosaki, it just cuts right to the chase, doesn't it? It completely torpedoes that old idea that the only way to get ahead is to just work harder and put in more hours. It's telling us there's a whole other game out there, a smarter game with a totally different set of rules. So let's get real for a second. Do you ever feel like you're stuck on a hamster wheel? Just trading your valuable time for a paycheck and wondering, man, there has to be a better way. If you've ever felt like you're at that kind of financial crossroads and you're looking for a new map, then you are in exactly the right place. And that new map? Well, it's called Robert Kiyosaki's cash flow quadrant. Now, this is a really simple, but believe me, incredibly powerful way to understand how people make their money. Just think of it as the 4 basic territories of the entire financial world. Okay, here it is. It's pretty straightforward. On the left side, you've got E for employee and S for self-employed, or maybe a specialist. And then on the right side, you've got B for business owner who owns a system, and I for investor, where your money is actually doing the work for you. So just take a second, look at this, and ask yourself, where are you on this map right now? And this is where it gets really interesting. That line down the middle, it represents a massive difference. It's not about working hard, it's about what you truly value. See, the left side is all about security. Your income is active, meaning if you stop working, the money stops coming in. The whole game is just to work harder. But the right side, that's driven by freedom. Here, the income is passive. It comes from systems and assets you build. The path isn't to work harder, it's to build smarter. So let's dig into that left side for a minute, the world of the employee and the self-employed. It feels safe, but there's a reason people call it the security trap, and a perfect little story that shows you exactly why. So imagine this little village that needs water, and they hire 2 guys, Ed and Bill, to get the job done. Now, how they each decide to tackle this problem shows you the huge, huge difference between the left and the right side of that quadrant. Ed, he's the go-getter. He grabs 2 buckets and right away, boom, he starts running to the lake and back all day long, sun up to sundown, and hey, it's working. He's making money, he's got a steady job, and he feels totally secure. This is that classic employee mindset, right? Trading your time and your sweat directly for cash. But Bill's a different cat. He vanishes for a whole year. He's not carrying a single bucket. People are probably wondering what in the world he's doing. See, he wasn't working for money. He wrote up a business plan, got some investors, and spent that whole year building a system, a pipeline. This is the business owner mindset in action. And here's the punchline. The day Bill finished that pipeline, everything changed. He could suddenly deliver more water, better water, 24/7 for way less money. And just like that, Ed, our hardworking bucket carrier, was out of a job. His security was just an illusion. Bill, on the other hand, had created an asset that made him money even while he slept. He'd created freedom. And that's the big lesson from Bill, isn't it? The whole point of being on the right side of the quadrant isn't really about having a better skill or working harder. It's about building a better system. It's about working on your business, not just in it, to create something that runs without you. Think about McDonald's. I'm willing to bet you can cook a way better hamburger than they can. I know I can. But the genius of McDonald's has almost nothing to do with the burger. It's all about their incredible, unstoppable business system. The supply chain, the training, the real estate, that's the magic. So that's the real gut check question you have to ask yourself. Is your energy going into perfecting your hamburger, your individual skill? Or are you thinking bigger? Are you thinking about how to build a system that can deliver value even when you're not there? Now, to build those systems, you have to get this one simple idea burned into your brain. An asset is anything that puts money in your pocket. Think Bill's pipeline. And a liability is anything that takes money out of your pocket. The whole game for folks on the right side of the quadrant is just to acquire as many assets as they can. Simple as that. But here's the thing. Building assets and systems, it's not just about tactics and spreadsheets. It's a total head game. To get from the left side to the right side, you've got to cross what's called a mindset bridge. And that means you have to completely change the way you think about risk, about failure, and most importantly, about persistence. Napoleon Hill tells this incredible story about it.
There's this guy, R.U. Darby, who gets gold fever, right? He buys all the gear, starts digging, and has some early luck. But then, the vein of gold just vanishes. He keeps drilling, keeps trying, finds nothing. And eventually, he just quits, gives up. So he sells all his equipment for pennies on the dollar to a junk man. But this junk man, he's a little smarter. He calls in an expert, a mining engineer, who takes one look and says, the reason the first guy failed is because the gold is literally just 3 feet from where he stopped digging. The junk man made millions. Darby, though, he learned a lesson that was worth more than gold. You never, ever give up because of temporary defeat. 3 feet. Just think about that. He was that close to a massive fortune. It's such a powerful reminder that most of the time, the biggest thing standing in our way isn't the problem itself. It's the temptation to quit right before the breakthrough happens.
So how do you actually build that kind of persistence? Well, Hill didn't just tell stories. He gave us a formula. It's a 6-step plan to turn some vague wish into cold, hard reality. It starts with step 1. You have to know the exact amount of money you want. No fuzzy, I want to be rich stuff. Be specific. Step 2, decide exactly what you're willing to give for it, because nothing is free. Step 3, set a hard deadline. Then you create a plan, you write it all down, and here's the secret sauce. Step 6, you read that statement out loud, twice a day. It's not magic. It's a way of programming your own mind for success.
Okay, I know, this is a lot. Building systems, acquiring assets, rewiring your whole mindset, it can feel totally overwhelming. You might be wondering, where on earth do I even begin? Well, the answer is actually way simpler than you think. It all starts with this one idea. You know the old saying, right? You don't try to conquer the world in a single night. You break down this massive goal of financial freedom into small, doable pieces.
The journey to that right side of the quadrant isn't some giant, terrifying leap off a cliff. It's pasito a pasito, step by baby step. Instead of thinking about quitting your job tomorrow, maybe your first step is just reading a book about investing. Maybe it's finding a mentor, or even just starting to track where your money goes each month. It's all about building new habits, one tiny action at a time.
So I'll leave you with this final thought to chew on. Economic times are always changing, and with every major shift, there are these huge transfers of wealth that happen. A new one is coming. The only question is, when it gets here, where are you going to be? Are you going to be on the left side, dependent on a job for security? Or are you going to be on the right side, owning the assets and the systems that create real, lasting freedom? The choice really begins today.